Tree Talking Time is brought to you by Conkeys Outdoors. Get all your hound hunting needs at conkeys.com. Welcome to Tree Talking Time, where we talk all things tree dogs, from the smallest feists to the largest hounds, treating squirrels to bears and everything in between. And from time to time, we might even run a little fast game. Need reliable housing for your animals? Animal Housing Solutions in Mayo, Florida builds custom coops, kennels, and shelters that are strong, durable, and designed with your animal's comfort in mind. Whether you need a large-scale kennel or a small custom chicken coop, they've got you covered. Quality craftsmanship, great service, and solutions built to last. That's the Animal Housing Solution promise. Check them out at Animal Housing Solutions on Facebook. Animal Housing Solutions, where your animals come first. Your dogs deserve the very best, and that's exactly what Elite Nutrition Canine Products delivers. Packed with premium ingredients and backed by science, their formulas are designed to boost energy, support joint health, and keep coats shiny and strong. Whether you've got a working dog, a hunting partner, or just a loyal best friend, Elite Nutrition gives them the fuel they need to thrive. Don't settle for ordinary. Choose the nutrition your dog deserves. Find Elite Nutrition Canine Products today and give your dog the Elite Edge. Go to shopeliteglobal.com and use the code TREE10 on your next purchase. I find it super interesting, people that go from the East Coast and move out west, and you go from maybe running some coon hounds or beagles here, if you ran hounds at all, and going out there and running dry ground lions. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a different story. Well, I mean, I hunted foxhounds for a living back there.
Oh, okay.
Like mounted fox hunting. I did that for 8 years.
Were you a whip or were you actually the huntsman?
No, I was the huntsman. for 8 years. And then I worked for a guy, an Irish guy in Illinois for a little while after that. But yeah, I grew up with that. Like, I had some beagles when I was little. Then we had coon dogs. My grandfather had coon dogs, and he moved away to Colorado, and he started lion hunting when I was a little kid.
Okay.
So that's how I didn't come about it I didn't come up with it on my own. My grandfather moved to Colorado when he was 65, when I was just, 9 or something like that. And but he had dogs always. He'd go up to Maine and run bears, and
that's interesting.
So he did it forever. And then my dad did it with him, and then when I was a little kid, we coon hunted, and my old man just was kind of doing it to get me out. I think he wasn't too keen on it, but
okay.
We did go when I was probably about 10 or 12. Still had mules and everything too. Still hunt off mules back there.
I would love to have a mule, but I just don't have enough ground to really hunt one off.
It's a whole nother thing too. I just sold my mule last maybe a year now.
Okay.
Well, I had a mule, but I work on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd never used them. Honestly, I like walking. So
I can't say I like walking a lot.
Yeah, that's what. If you ask me what my strong suit was with as far as hunting goes, is I can walk. That's how I get to go with a lot of these old guys out here, because they just know I'll walk. I'll go with those dogs wherever they go, and as long as they go, and I'll get back out.
That's a giant string bean.
It helps. You know how they find pants that fit, but at least I can keep up with dogs.
That's funny. Well, you said, so when you were a huntsman, what hunt were you working for?
There's a hunt on the Eastern Shore called Wacomico Hunt.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. Well, actually, and we hunted up around Chestertown. They actually hunt at Fair Hill now too.
Okay.
They hunt that during the week. And
gotcha.
And I hunted around with them. I got hunted with Cheshire and Pennsylvania there. And,
yeah, I didn't know if you hunted with any of the ones like right around.
Yeah, I just hunted with. I was buddies with some of those guys, like the huntsmen at Cheshire, and then Green Spring. Like, got in with, just went around. I actually learned a lot about dogs doing that. To be honest, Like, that's where I started learning shit. Like, as a kid, even like the beagles we had were pretty unruly. It was just like turn dogs loose and then spend the rest of the time trying to get dogs back. That's how I started as a kid. But
I find it super interesting, and I'll admit prior to actually me knowing a guy that he was a whip and then he became a huntsman, but before I really knew him, I always just thought it was like the hoity-toity, people riding around, more of a horse thing than a hound thing. And I still kind of think that's part of it. I think there's a lot of people,
Yep.
that ride with the hunt. That's what it is. But for the actual huntsman, the hounds are a huge aspect of it. And they're real houndsmen.
My grandfather always said that there's people that ride to hunt and there's people that hunt to ride.
Mm-hmm.
Like you either get on the horse because you want to see what the hounds are doing, or it's just a good excuse to ride your horse. There's two different types. But those guys that do it for a living, like guys that come from England and stuff, like they're hardcore. Like they're hounds. They're hunters. They want to hunt. Most of them have, they got hound dogs. They got terriers. They got sight hounds. Like those dudes are into it. Like I was the same way when I was a kid. As a kid, I just kept my distance from it. I didn't want any parts of it. And I never even did any of that until I got hired as a professional huntsman, and I never even fox hunted.
Okay. That's pretty rare, I'm sure.
Yeah, my ex-wife's aunt was a master, and I was in Colorado at the time, and they were looking for a huntsman, and they were not like a high-end hunt. They were having trouble getting somebody, and at that time I had some dogs I was trying to line hunt. And like I thought, they knew me as I always had cow dogs. And I'd catch cows and coon hunted and stuff. So they offered me the job. I was like, all right, well, try it. But that started me on definitely learning a lot more about hounds and dogs in general.
Oh yeah.
But there's a lot of cool stuff to be learned from those dudes that come from England and been doing it a long time. And doing it for a living is a different story.
Oh yeah.
Every day, taking care of 50 hounds every day, you learn some shit.
Oh, I find it wild, like to be able to go in there and feed a pack of hounds and tell them back, and they all back up, and then you put food down, and they all wait till you tell them. And it's like I couldn't do that with the 4 dogs I have outside.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing about that is I've talked to guys about it too. You'll find different types of hunting, like. Well, you got cur dogs, don't you? Are you a cur dog man?
I am a cur dog man.
Yeah, like a lot of them, you can't. Well, a lot of these guys say you got to haul them separate in the box, and a lot of bear hunters that way got the plot dogs because they're rough dogs and this and that. But those foxhounds have been bred and raised for hundreds of years to live together. You know what I mean? They got the genetics to live like that, and you still got to teach them who's in charge. But yeah, they've been bred for hundreds of years to live together. But these old like bear hunting stuff, they keep them chained up by themselves. And
oh yeah,
so there's no wonder you go try to throw a bunch of bear dogs in the same dog box, you're gonna have a problem. Just because of the way they're handled. Well, most of these line hunters that I know out here are a little different because the guys have so many dogs, and sometimes you hunt off a horseback. Like you can throw. I've had 4 different guys hunting and throw 12 different dogs in the dog box without even thinking about it. Just throw them all in there.
Yeah.
The way they're handled and bred.
Oh, for sure. No, but actually, I was just listening to a podcast recently, and it's a dog breeding podcast, but the person breeds English foxhounds, and just how and they were talking about how the foxhounds have been bred for such a long time and inbred, and actually how healthy foxhounds were. And honestly, not something I ever really thought about is how inbred and how literally, these huntsmen, they cull by natural selection. If stuff doesn't make it, it doesn't make it. If it's not healthy.
That's another interesting part. Like that stuff you don't really talk about when you're in the foxhounds. It's like they want that club of mine. The newer age fox hunters are trying to get kids into it, and it's mostly women and children, that ride horses anymore. But when my grandfather did it, it was like the mechanic, like your mechanic, or like my grandfather, they farmers, and it was a different thing. And you could, they all knew, like if you had a litter of 12 puppies, they don't ask why there's only 3 of them left at the end. You know what I mean? It's like it's a little different. Just like any of this hunting stuff, you try to get kids involved, and you just got to be careful if you really want to do it right. It's it it does take some calling, unfortunately.
It does. And I mean, yeah, that looks a little different today, or it can look a little different today. But I think.
Yeah, I mean, you can adopt them out and stuff.
Yeah.
I take it real serious about having. I actually just had the first litter of puppies out of these lion dogs just on the ground, like 2 weeks old. That I've done. I've been doing this hunting lions for like 6 years, and finally decided to breed a hound.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
But I'll probably keep them all until I figure out what I got.
Yeah. I wish I was
only,
able to do that. I think that's obviously. I think you get the best dog out of the litter if you do, the best ones. If you're able to keep them all, and I think it gives you better read on what your dogs are producing, and versus where if you get rid of all your puppies and keep 1, 2, and
yeah,
then it's like
interesting.
You can't really tell what, because not everybody hunts the same way you do and puts the same time and effort in, and so you don't really know, did that dog get a fair shake, and you really just don't know.
And a lot of guys, if you give them, a lot of these guys I hunt with, like, they're already prejudiced against it unless they're breeding. You know what I mean? So you give a guy a puppy, and if he bred it and it was from his, generations back, and he knew where, had some pride in it, they'll give those dogs more of a chance than yours. You know what I mean? Like, just, and some dogs you like, and mostly you like your stuff. So if it's yours, you'll give it a little bit more leeway, and then if it's somebody gave it to you, you're like, this thing, I ain't gonna wait on it,
Yep.
But if you keep them till they're a year, you can tell if you might be able to tell, like, this dog will suit this guy better than me. You know what I mean? That's when they're puppies, you just crapshoot.
Exactly. You just don't know.
Fun to find out.
So you said you moved out west 6 years ago and running lines on that long?
I started hunting lions 6 years ago. I've been in Arizona. I think it's 8. It'll be 8 years this fall since I've been in Arizona.
Okay.
But I had moved to Colorado like earlier when I was younger, like 23. I've been back and forth. Like, I moved to Colorado. I spend my summers in Colorado since I was like 10 years old. So I honestly feel much more comfortable out here than I do back there. But the longest stretch that I've done since I was in high school was that 8 years when I hunted hounds in Maryland. But other than that, it's been back and forth for the most part.
Okay.
But, I think that there's no more back.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, it can't happen. I did visit my parents this winter, but before that, I hadn't seen them since I think I saw you. It was like 2 years since I'd been back. I just can't even. Well, I bring my dogs everywhere I go, like, too. So I bring them back there. It's hard to even exercise dogs back there.
All you gotta do is make a phone call. We'll get them out.
Yeah, well, I go to Fair Hill every day when I'm there. I go to Fair Hill and just get, because these dogs probably get, like, today I went for a run with my hounds. Like, I did 6 miles with them today. That's like, I don't do 6 miles every day, but I'd say I do, like, I try to get 2 miles on these dogs every single day.
Yeah.
Somewhere. And it's pretty easy here. I just pull over somewhere and get them out. But
that's
back there,
not easy here.
No. Like, my parents live about 20 minutes from Fair Hill, so I just get up every morning and go down there and park on the Pennsylvania side where there's nobody around and just get my dogs, just walk them.
Dump them and let them go, huh?
Yeah, get a little exercise.
I've been trying to get into the PA side of Fair Hill to coon hunt, and they won't let me.
Yeah, we did it a little bit. PR, we used to get in there some, I don't know what stage when I was back there in my 20s or something. We'd hunt in there some. But, yeah, it's difficult. My grandfather hunted all that country. Like,
it's a shame. It's all public ground, but they got all kinds of rules. You can only be in there during the day. And it's like you can train dogs in there. So I'm like, I can run my dogs if I was squirrel hunting. But I'm like...
Yeah, I think a lot of that stuff you could figure out. Depends who you ask, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess I haven't found the right person in every time I've called or emailed.
Yeah, which sometimes you just go and try it and see if anybody catches it.
I even had a game warden ask me if I ran there. I'm like, no, I'm not allowed. He's like, really?
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Well, state-owned property is different. There's a lot more regs. Like, I'm actually in Utah right now, and I was just looking for a place to get my dogs out, and there's a WMA right here. So
Okay.
that's a piece of state land, and they had it closed off for the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no dog walk. So turned
Crazy.
around and left it. But National Forest and BLM, usually you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Well, we don't, as you know, we don't have any of that.
No, I know. Well, that's why I don't live there anymore.
Trust me. There's a lot of reasons I wouldn't live here either.
Yeah. If you don't have a family I have family back there. I don't have any kids or anything. I mean, I get it, but it's not for me anymore.
Yep. I don't blame you. So when you got started coon hunting, what were you running?
Well, my grandfather always liked blue tick dogs.
Okay.
Like big old timey blue ticks, but my dad, the best dog I remember my dad having was she was a little walker. I think she was an half English, half walker. He bought her from some old dude in Westchester, I remember. But I was little at the time, probably 9 or something. But she was a better dog than any of those blue ticks I've been around, to be honest.
I have to say, you just saying that he bought her from somebody in Westchester is absolutely hilarious because there's nobody.
Yeah, think of that. Yeah, think of that now.
Yeah.
But that's how it was when I was a kid. Like, well, I'm 43 years old, so that's,
Yeah. No, I get 30, it, but it's just today that is not the case. You're not finding somebody in Westchester that coon hunts.
It is strange though, because it used to be crazy around there. Like you go down to, I remember going down with my grandfather or my dad down to the Emeryville Mill there in Unionville and picking up dog feed. There's old timers around that had hounds, and it was a cool place at one time. There's a lot of history there for dogs.
There is. Unfortunately, it is withered away.
Yeah, it's a bummer. We had greenhouses there. That's what my family did
Okay.
And there's an old guy that worked there for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a coon hunter too, but he grew up there on the King Ranch.
Yeah.
His dad was one of the cowboy. He was a cowboy there.
Okay.
So he had coon dogs, like everybody.
Yeah.
Like everybody had one tied out. Man, it happened fast. Disappeared.
Oh yeah, we just got built up so quickly.
Yep. And then there was old timers. Even when I started fox hunting back there, you had some old guys that had their own farm packs of hounds. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever heard any of the Reavers, but like Bobby Reaver and Ralph Reaver.
No.
So they still had packs of like farm packs of basically just hillbilly packs of foxhounds that would hunt around. And but even that now is pretty much gone. Like Bobby Reaver died when I was back there hunting hounds still. Like I hunted with him some, and he and my grandfather used to hunt together, so he was up there. But he had his own pack of hounds, and he lived right there off 896.
Okay.
Until just like 10 years ago, he kept himself a pack of hounds there, and he was just like, I don't know, he worked for the state or something, but still kept 20 hounds. Don't happen anymore.
No, unfortunately not. Conkeys Outdoors is proud to be a sponsor of Tree Talking Time. Family, hunting, tradition is the Conkeys motto. They understand the importance of passing down the tradition of hound hunting. They are a family-owned business that treats you like family. They also understand the importance of having the gear you need when you need it. Conkeys carries everything for your next hunt, and it ships to your door quick. They also offer great warranties on all tracking systems and financing options. Check them out at conkeys.com. You can also use the code TreeTalkingTime5 in all caps to save as well. Do you know Rocky?
Yeah, only through TR. Like I went hunting with Rocky some. We just go out there and hunt some of his country when he was still right there in Doe Run, but he's moved since.
He lives up in Morgantown now.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably hunted with him half a dozen times or something like that.
Gotcha.
But he was an old timer. He knew all those old guys.
Oh yeah. He's been on the podcast.
Has he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to look that one up. I listened to the one with Cody on there, Jeff's nephew. I've never met him, but that was good.
Glad you enjoyed that.
Yeah, those cur dogs are cool. Actually, there's a guy up here in Utah that a buddy of mine in Arizona they got hooked up somehow, and he came down and hunted with me, and he's got curs.
Cool.
For lions, he's got, they're kind of whatever, hammers and what, I don't know that he's real strict about what he's got, but his son works cows with him, and then they catch some pigs in Texas, and he runs bears and lions and stuff.
Yeah.
He tried to give me a pup, but I still wasn't ready to make the move. I have one cur dog.
I was about to say, I thought you had a cur dog when I met you.
Yeah, I used to have a whole bunch of them for working cattle, like, bunch of mixed up curs most of them came from Florida, but I still have one little blackmouth that he rides in the cab here with me. But she's kind of funny. Like she'll tree on a lion or a bobcat, and she's actually 10 years old, but she's just recently started opening on track, like a super closed mouth dog. But she's just done it enough, and we don't work cows anymore.
Yeah,
and she started opening on track and getting fired up at the tree, and pretty interesting. If you drag them along enough,
yeah,
they'll do it. We jumped the lion. We treated a lion this winter, and it jumped, and the hounds were all kind of acting crazy and treed up there, and it ran up into some bluffs, and this little yellow dog of mine, she must have just seen it, and she got up there. All the dogs were going everywhere, casting around, and Lori went up there on this rock, and she was barking, and so I walked up there, and she had that thing bait up under a rock. And since then, she started getting a little crazier, like opening on track and treeing.
That's too funny.
Yeah, at 9 years old.
Now, what kind of hounds are you running?
Mostly little walkers. I've only got 4 hounds right now, but yeah, 3 of them are from the same stuff. Little walkers. I think they mostly go back to like house bred stuff.
Okay.
Like they're, I don't know if you ever heard of this guy, Mike Leonard.
Yeah.
He's like been on a bunch of podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff. He's the one that hooked me up with these dogs. His partner is the dude that breeds them up in Colorado.
Okay.
And I've got 3 from his stuff, and then I got one oddball. He's a half plot, half red tick. That was like an accidental litter at the ranch I was working on, and I took one, and she's turned into a pretty cool dog.
Nice. Now, the litter of pups you have, are they added 2 of the walkers, or?
Yeah, out of the one walker, and I actually crossed her to a running walker.
Okay.
I'm going to have a half running dog crosses.
Yeah. Which
is slightly controversial because all the guys I hunt with, none of the guys I hunt with want any of them. They're like, why did you breed to a foxhound? But I've had enough experience with foxhounds that I honestly think that pack of foxhounds I had would do me good out here.
Yeah.
Like stuff that wants to catch game in a hurry. Like,
oh yeah.
No matter what their breeding is, that's what I want. Yeah, so I got a buddy in Arizona that has coyote dogs.
Okay.
And he's bred to. He'd be an interesting guy to talk to if you get a hold of him too, because he crosses running walker hounds on greyhounds for coyotes.
Yeah.
So he keeps some pure running walkers around, and we also lion hunt together. He's got lion dogs too, so he had 2 from the last litter that he started hunting lions with, and the male dog I really like this male dog. He's just super athletic, like gets around better than any of these other dogs I have, and his feet hold up like the thing, like you can hunt him 10 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So I bred to him, and he's caught some lions on his own, and he trees pretty good, so we'll see how it goes.
The more I talk to running dog people, the more I think a good running tree dog cross is the ticket for a lot of things.
Yeah, and you can talk to guys that have them, and the problem is it's hard. Any of those crosses are hard to keep consistent,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like you get one good cross out of a female, and you're like, dude, this is it. But then you breed back to those pups, and it can go haywire.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's like you got it. Like my buddy Peter with those greyhounds, he doesn't do any it's all first time crosses. You know what I mean? Like he's always going from a straight running hound to a greyhound, and then after that, there's puppies trying to breed those puppies or something. It's just like it's too much variable.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, you're talking kind of going back to the English guys with the sight hounds and the terriers and stuff. A lot of those guys that when they breed lurchers, it's the F1 cross. That's what they want.
Yeah, and that's the only thing. That's what a lurcher is, really.
Yeah.
They don't breed lurchers. They don't breed on from there. They just make the cross one for now.
Like I said, you might find them where they'll breed back like 3/4, but a lot of times that's about it.
Yep. But I do think with these running dogs and tree dogs, it's a little easier.
Oh yeah,
because when you go back, it's all not that long ago, it's all the same stuff.
Yeah.
You're talking a couple hundred years, but still, you'll get all kinds of weird stuff starts popping out. Like these little, I didn't do much research on these little walkers that I got from this guy, but man, they really look and act like there's a fair bit of running dog in there. They're not papered dogs, and they look like little running dogs too. They're little, like my females. I got 3 females, and they're between. Most of them are like, I think that my youngest one, she's only 38 pounds, like 38 to 45 pounds. So they're little bitty dogs, but they look like it's running dog, not very far back.
Wouldn't surprise me.
So it might making that cross. You might, who knows, might tap into some of that old stuff and might be able to breed on, but time will tell.
Yeah. Well, I know you got a couple good stories between fox hunting, coon hunting, lion hunting. I mean, catching cows with cur dogs. You've done it all. So.
Yeah, done a little bit of it. A little bit of everything. Not I'm going to say jack of all trades, master of none type of deal. Yeah, most stories would be like failures. And hellacious hikes. That's a lot of the memories that stick in my mind.
Yeah. But you learn from those ones.
Treating the first lion on my own was a big ordeal. I mean, it took me 2 years to catch a lion.
I'm sure.
I just with my own puppies, and I did buy a dog from a guy that I will not name. Only dog I've ever bought a started dog, and it did not help me at all. So I don't do that anymore. But it took 2 years of hard hunting to catch one.
Mm-hmm.
And the one I caught like right outside of town in Flagstaff. Like you could see the city from where I treated that lion. But yeah, I probably do have some stories. I'd have to put me on the spot a little bit. But yeah, the one thing I do know is I'm not a good guide because I've gotten buddies that I take. I want to go lion hunting, and I never let anybody shoot a lion.
Yeah,
like I get real possessive over them.
That's all right. Most houndsmen aren't great guides like that. Especially if you don't have a super dense population. Well,
and you hear lions guys ask you like, oh, there's a lot of lions over there, but like there's not a lot of lions. There's not a lot of lions anywhere. You know what I mean? Like if there's just not that thickly populated. When I find one, I want to keep running it.
Yeah.
Then you kill it. I got to go find another one. That might take me 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get real possessive. I had a buddy from California that came and wanted to kill a lion, and we caught three lions in 2 days, and I just kind of blacked out and never let him shoot a single one, and made him go home without a lion.
That's funny.
And now I've been trying, and I felt bad after I kind of thought about it. I was like, well, I've been trying to get him to come back and get him a good tom, and now we can't catch one. We caught 3 toms in 2 days, and now toms are definitely harder to come by.
Yeah.
In this country, well, in Arizona, if there's a big tom around, everybody knows about it somehow. No, I could probably wrangle up a story or two, but I can't really think of one right now.
How did you get into working cow dogs with cur dogs from Florida?
I had cow dogs like since I messed with cattle and stuff. Like I team roped a little bit even when I was back east.
Okay.
And I'd go to Colorado in the summertime and I'd working on ranches and stuff. So I had like a couple healers and a couple border collies and then I had a couple I've had cows get out or neighbors' cows get out, and cur dogs are the way to go. And I got hooked up with the guy back there, but he's the one. He'd spent some time in Florida, and he had a bunch of dogs, and he would catch loose cows for people. He lived in I think he was born in New Jersey.
Okay.
But anyway, he got some cur dogs from down there, and that's how I got those dogs.
Okay.
But then once I got to Arizona, that's the whole reason I came to Arizona was the guys work cattle with cur dogs and they hunt lions out here. So not all these guys, but most guys, if you got cow dogs in Arizona, it's cur dogs.
Okay.
Because it's rough country and you don't need it. And the cattle are usually pretty flighty out here, so you don't need anything to push cows. You need stuff to stop them.
Mm-hmm.
But I got started with it back there, and then once I got out here, it was just kind of at one point I had 8 or 10 of them.
Oh, wow.
Just, working cows. But then you got, end up having 8 of them and then 6 hounds, and then it's like, all right, well, we need to pick one here.
Now, for your cur dogs, were you running mostly like a blackmouth or blackmouth cross type dog, or?
It was all like, they'd be Catahoula blackmouth crosses, like the one little female I still have left. She looks like she's colored up like a blackmouth, but she looks more like a little pit bull.
Okay.
Just all mixed up stuff.
Gotcha.
I call them like a Florida cur. Most of those guys just don't really have, you'll have a litter and there'll be brindle ones and black and tan ones and yellow ones. And
yep. Just all kinds of colors.
So yeah, just cur dogs. You do see mostly kind of Catahoula types in Arizona.
Okay.
A lot of brindle dogs, and you don't see as many like straight blackmouth curs. You'll see some yellow looking dogs. Like my ex-wife has a male dog that was mine. That's a yellow. He's just a yellow dog with blue eyes, but I wouldn't say he's a Catahoula necessarily.
Okay.
But they're neat dogs too. I mean,
yeah.
I do like curs, but I've just been messing with hounds for too long to want to run lines with curs. I don't know why. This is like a different thing to me.
Well, it sounds like keeping one in your pack at least might be in your best interest.
Yeah, like I said, it's been interesting with this dog. But she's funny. I've tried putting her on a track by herself just out of curiosity, and like the way I've hunted her whole life, that was like, I want her hunting 200 yards away trying to find cattle, and that's it. And then I want her back,
Yeah.
And even on a cow track, like she'll take a track, but she won't go a mile because she knows I don't want to go a mile. I want something, I want to find cattle I just don't want to go buy something that's 200 yards either side of me.
Yeah.
So now if I try putting her on a bobcat track or a lion track, she'll take it as hard as she can for 200 yards, and then she comes back. If I walk her up to it, she'll take it another 200 yards, and then she'll come back. Just, she's done the same thing her whole life. I imagine if I mess with her long enough, she might.
Yeah.
But she'll go with those dogs when they get fired up, but when they have a check or something, she just comes back and wants a head scratch.
Well, it sounds like she would have made a real good lion dog if you would have started her on lions instead of cows.
Yeah, well, if she lived long enough, she still might turn into one. Yeah, if she lives another 3 years or something, she might be my best lion dog.
She might, yep. Heck, we've been at this for about a half hour, and I didn't have you introduce yourself.
Yep, Greg Thompson from Kennett Square, Pennsylvania, originally.
There's not too many Western houndsmen that are going to recognize Kennett Square, Pennsylvania by any means.
No. That's where I'm from, anyway.
Yep. The mushroom capital.
Yep, of the world, supposedly.
Yep. I don't know how far or where exactly you're from, but I work in Kennett, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that big, but I mean, I'm only like a mile and a half from DR.
Okay.
Where I grew up. Same road, actually.
Well, can you think of any good stories?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I can think about is we hunt up on the strip. I hunt with some old guys there, and I don't want to call them old guys. They're older than me, but they've been hunting a long time. Arizona strip is like famous for big mule deer, and there's a nasty canyon over there that everybody tells you don't like. You once you've been down in there once, like you'll never go again.
Okay.
But we end up down. I've been down in there probably 4 times. It's just like, and we never do catch a lion. But this last time, I ended up down in the bottom of that thing, and I don't know if I was overheated or dehydrated or what, but it took me, like it was turned into I was getting a little nervous to get out of there, and I was by myself. My radio died. No water. Had like a bunch of dogs with me, and tried to get out the top. I got rimmed out. Couldn't get around. Like,
jeez.
Legs started cramping up. I had to keep laying down, and so I don't know if it was a good story, but that was probably the worst, the worst story that popped into my mind right there.
Yeah.
Country is hard.
Talk about a train wreck, man. Almost get stuck in a canyon.
Yeah. I mean, you're not supposed to go to the bottom of that thing, but I'm a slow learner. Yeah, I can't come up with anything too good.
That's all right. One of these days when you're back this way, we're gonna sit down and we'll grab TR and we'll just sit there and swap stories.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, man.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Tree Talking Media. And until next time, keep them talking in the timber.